What's up, you guys? Welcome to a new video on Kevin Stash, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Lost Mario levels. So recently, with the announcement of Game Boy Advance games coming to Nintendo Switch Online, one game stood out to me, and that was Super Mario Bros. Advance 4, which is Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros. Advance 4 was a port of Super Mario Bros. 3 to the Game Boy Advance, and this port added lots of cool features that I don't see a lot of people talk about, but one of them is like voice acting to the game. Sadly, the Game Boy Advance audio does not do it justice, and the voice clips do get kind of annoying. And another cool feature is the addition of extra levels via the e-reader. Sadly, the e-reader did not succeed in the US here, so most of those levels have never been experienced by anyone. So that's why people consider it the lost levels, and I also do because, funny enough, I have never played Super Mario Bros. Advance 3's e-reader levels. For my luck, my expansion pack expired just before the announcement of these extra Game Boy Advance games, so I won't be able to experience it until probably my membership expires, which will be in October. But I might upgrade like during the summer, depending if I get that desperate. But let's hope not. So these levels include lots of cool features that most Mario games don't. I feel like what I really like about the e-reader levels is that it's more of a crossover between all the previous advanced games. So basically, you could use the mechanics from Super Mario Bros. 2, even Super Mario World. I think the cape is present for some reason, so you could pick up items and you can even use power-ups that aren't even in the base Super Mario Bros. 3. So that's pretty cool as well. And another game I have to mention that is also the Lost Levels is the original Lost Levels, which is Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan. But when Super Mario All Stars released here in the US, we had like an extra game in the collection, which was Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, and this was basically just a rename. They renamed the original Super Mario Bros. 2 to the Lost Levels since we got a different version of Super Mario Bros. 2, and this version of Super Mario Bros. 2 is actually way harder than the one we got here in the US, and that's because supposedly Nintendo wanted to make a more harder game for super players. So that's basically the whole gimmick of Super Mario Bros. 2, which is for super players. So you needed to be like I guess some type of AI or genius to be mastering or become a Mario master. And I have been in the Lost Levels. Is it hard? I feel like it isn't. It's more like, I guess you could say it's more of Mario Maker levels if they were actually put in an official game, because most of the levels I got stuck on were the ones where you have to look for an invisible block, and then you spend like most of the time looking for the block, then completing the stage, which is pretty dumb. But overall, I think I would rate the Lost Levels a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's a cool game, I guess, but man, it's really hard for some reason when it shouldn't be. The next Lost Levels you could say is Super Mario Bros. 35. I know, even though it is just the original Super Mario Bros., I just want to mention it here because the game is basically lost. So you could say that version of the game is just like a lost version of the Super Mario Bros. Levels, because we can't forget that the Super Mario Bros. 35 had its own gimmick, which was that you could like throw in enemies. So that basically made Super Mario Bros. 35 like a whole unique game as well. There's also another game I want to mention. I think it was Super Mario Bros. 25th Anniversary Edition. So there's this other version of Super Mario Bros. That released with the Wii in around 2010 for Mario's 25th anniversary. My bad. And in this anniversary edition, we had the question mark blocks are replaced with the number 25, which is quite the celebration for Mario. Honestly, I think the 25th anniversary deserves its own video as a whole as well, because in my opinion, it was pretty mediocre. I mean, it was cool overall, but it could have been a way better anniversary. And usually the 25th anniversary is a big deal for a franchise, but not for Nintendo, I guess. So moving on to the next one, I would like to mention Versus Super Mario Bros. As well. This game doesn't really have any lost levels anymore, but it was technically lost the whole game for a point because it was only an arcade exclusive game. But in around 2018, the game got ported to Nintendo Switch with the Arcade Archive series. And this version of the game is a combination of the original Super Mario Bros. And also the lost levels. Funny enough, that's where probably most of the people experience the lost levels first, because around, I'd say like 20% of the levels are from the lost levels. and those levels were mostly inputted into the game to like eat up your quarters, so like that you don't like beat the game in like one instance. And for the final lost levels I would like to mention for today, I would like to mention New Super Mario Bros. 2's DLC levels. I think in March is when the eShop shuts down for the 3DS and also Wii U, and those levels are gonna be lost forever unless you buy the DLC. I know that people are gonna say like, oh, you could emulate these levels, but they're gonna be lost forever technically unless you buy them legally. But they're not gonna be lost. Let's hope so. But this DLC includes hard packs, insane or like impossible challenges, and these levels are unique to the game. Like I think these levels are way better than the base level games, in my opinion. I don't own these DLCs, sadly. I need to buy them. I have a bunch of 3DS stuff I need to buy. I'll probably make a video about that. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know your thoughts on these lost levels from Super Mario Bros. Series as a whole. Let me know if I should make a part 2, because I'm sure there's way more lost levels that I didn't mention. For example, Super Mario Run. That game is probably going to get delisted one day, and it'll probably become, or its levels are going to become lost levels also. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching.